That's my boy.
So World Marshal is backing Desperado,
You don't exactly sound surprised.
I did not catch it on the nose, but I did have a hunch it was this sort of thing.
Well, you're the boss. What do you think? Can we take them on?
What I think no longer matters here. As Kevin says, we have no legal grounds to stop them. And you? What would you have us do? Storm their headquarters? Kill them all? Will that make you feel better?
No, I mean, look, you heard him. They're already in VR training.
Raiden.
The Patriots may be gone, but it hasn't changed shit in the US. A handful of elites still get away with whatever the hell they want.
Raiden, calm down. Focus on rescuing the kids first. We will talk about this later.
Yeah, copy that. Anything on George yet?
No. I think maybe they took him away.
Or worse.
Perhaps. Remember what that man said. There was matter of payment, but he doesn't need to wait for anything here. He can kill those prisoners anytime he wants. And as for escapees, they're more easily killed than captured.
Damn it! I knew I should have stayed with him until our guys showed up.
Raiden, the other children are not safe either. That payment may already have been made for all we know. And they know you're there, too. They may decide to simply dispose of children before they escape. You must hurry.
Anything on George yet?
No,
or
perhaps.
Damn it!
Raiden, that payment, they made it.
Any sign of George?
Not yet, no. Our men have split up to canvass the area. You just worry about the kids in the lab for now.
Understood. What do we know about Armstrong?
Plenty. Texas born and raised, played quarterback at UT. He was slated for the pros, but wound up joining the Navy after graduating. Said he wanted to serve his country instead. After that, moved to Colorado. Served in the state senate before getting elected to federal office. But this can probably wait.
Ah, yeah, you're right. Any sign of
Not yet. Our men, you just...
Got anything on George?
Not yet. I hope he's okay.
This is my fault. I could have stayed until someone came to pick him up.
Come on. Who knows what would have happened to the other kids in the meantime? Or even now, for that matter.
You're right. They're gonna be in even more danger soon enough. And there's a chance George is still safe. Somewhere.
Yeah. I'm sure he's fine.
I'd better move.
World Marshal. I never would have guessed it. I mean, they're huge. They advertise on TV with Hollywood celebs and everything.
Yeah, it builds their brand and influences how the mass media treats them. When a company's got nothing to sell and a huge ad campaign to sell it, that's usually a bad sign.
But... I don't know, I thought they were like us. I guess I thought they actually prided themselves on following international law, keeping people safe. A lot of their guys aren't even contractors. They help militaries with logistics support, that kind of thing. I mean, I went to college with people who have jobs there.
Sorry to hear that. Guess the ad campaign worked on them, huh?
So, what now?
First, we rescue those kids. After that, we talk things over with Boris and everyone else.
Gotcha. Okay, I'd better save your data, huh? Alright, please be careful.
Got anything on George?
Not yet.
I could.
Come on, we're eating.
And there's a.
Yeah.
I'd better.
So, World Marshal was Desperado's benefactor all along, No wonder they were able to deploy cyborgs in such numbers against you.
If they'd already started putting those kids through VR training, is it possible I'm actually fighting some of them here?
From the sound of things, the VR program had only just gotten underway. The brain can only process so much stimuli at once. You can speed up VR training for a UG to some extent, but not for a cyborg. I sincerely doubt they could complete a full training program in such a short time.
Yeah. Most of my training in Liberia was on the field, but it took a few months before I was in any way useful in combat.
Indeed. I suppose you'd know more about how child soldiers fight than the rest of us here, Raiden.
Yeah. I guess I'd be able to tell if they were children. Kids do fight differently from adults.
So, no one
If they... Is it
from the brain.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Desperado's backer has been identified. What will you do now, Raiden? Will you attempt to destroy World Marshal?
Kevin's right. It's not that simple.
Both a direct attack and a legal approach present problems. Either course will likely lead to additional conflict.
We can figure it out later. For now, we're getting those kids out.
That remains your intent. I cannot fully agree with that course of action, but I will support your decision. I will continue to scout ahead.
Any luck finding George?
No. I encountered the Maverick agents sent for him, but they had no additional information. You had best hurry, Raiden.
Right. Any luck?
No, you had...
Right.
An artificial blood cryopreserver. They must have begun preparatory freezing.
What do you mean?
That device is filled with synthetic blood plasma. It can slow the metabolism of a harvested organ, circulating this plasma to sustain oxygen levels. You can preserve an arm, a brain, any body part for several hours.
So what are they freezing, and why?
I could not say. Perhaps they plan to sell off the organs of the children they were told to dispose of.
Unbelievable.
You had best hurry, Raiden.
Right. Anything on...
No,
Or...
perhaps. He can...
Damn it.
Right, that payment, they made it...
Any luck?
No, you had...
Right.
So, no one...
If they... Is it
From the brain...
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah. Shit!
Hey, stop right there!
George!
Raiden?
You've heard of chloroform? A potent anesthetic in smaller doses. But breathe too much of it? And adios, muchachos! Break that glass, and I'll blow his brains out! Surrender! Or decide, the needs of the many, or the needs of the few.
Raiden, don't worry about me now.
Quiet, pendejo! Surrender! I won't ask again.
George, are you sure?
I'm ready. Me life now so precious. Ting, what if we can take this skunt to hell with me?
Cállate!
That's all I needed to hear.
Stop it! Now! I'll kill him, I swear!
President Hamilton is on his way to the Middle East this morning for his scheduled visit with Pakistani President Farouk Salam. The meeting is viewed as an attempt by the U.S. to strengthen relations amidst a surge of anti-American sentiment in the region.
Yo, me ninja brother!
George, good to see you up and about. How you feeling?
Never better, nah? No pain, no more for star while them hunger space eat, and me never ever feel so awake, nah?
That's because your blood sugar levels are being maintained automatically. Beats the hell out of coffee.
Oh! Me been here you go while I got them scone in the base. Why the rasa you not take me with ya, huh?
Damn it, Doc. Sorry, kid. You'd just be in the way.
Aw.
Besides, I thought you didn't want to be a killer, right?
Me don't, but...
Killing isn't fun and games. Remember that.
Right.
That's all I needed to hear.
Now! It yearns to bathe in the blood of your enemies, but you hold it back.
Yeah, just remember that.
What is this, Garnia? You cannot resign!
Sorry, Boris, it's done. Can't have a Maverick employee involved in a corporate raiding now, can we?
You could at least come talk to me.
No. It was time to break away from the old team, Boris. Past time.
You cannot take on Marshall all by yourself.
I won't sit by while they butcher little kids and ship their parts around like meat. It's sick.
It's not all so simple, Ryder. They import those brains legally, for medical purposes. It's all done.
Being legal doesn't make it right.
Ryder,
Hold that thought.
I will patrol ahead.
Military cyborg, you are not licensed to operate in this area. You're in violation of state and federal law.
Guess you better arrest me then.
183104.7, threatening a peace officer. Deadly force is authorized.
barricades. We will proceed through the buildings. You will follow me.
I trust you do not mind my telling George about you, Raiden.
Could have done without that, Doc. He didn't need to know I was here.
Well, there was no reason to conceal that from him. My intention was not to impugn you. He has a right to know. It's not as if he can simply fly over there and meddle in your affairs.
It's throwing off my emotional balance, Doc. Things like that can negatively impact the mission, you know?
However do you mean? You did the right thing, did you not? There's nothing to be ashamed of. George has the best body we can give him right now. And the rest of the children are also safe. And quite content too, I should add. It was your quick decision-making that saved them, Raiden. George's body will require regular maintenance, not to mention a replacement upon reaching adult age. But the expense is more than worth it.
You planning on signing him up with a PMC? Because that's the only job we're good for, far as I can tell.
Oh, you are quite mistaken there. Just consider it. The power of a machine matched with the nimbleness and creativity of a human. The construction and public works possibilities alone are endless. I saw a news piece on German TV just the other day about a cyborg plumber, in fact. Let's not forget about elder care either. One needs great strength to bathe and care for the bedridden. But it's also very delicate work, if you follow. Not the sort of thing you'd leave to a machine.
Sounds great. So long as we don't start replacing the old folks' bodies too, just because they're old.
A valid concern, yes. I recall reading a comic like that once. An old farmer created a cybernetic body to fight evil military scientists and so on.
Yeah. But can't George do anything besides physical labor, though?
Oh, he has every right to choose another path. If he opts not to take advantage of his body's physical strength, he's free to pursue academia instead. His body provides a completely ideal chemical environment for his brain, after all. I can certainly see how that would prove handy in the realm of higher education. The only problem would be how to cover the costs. The issue of student loan debt in the US is thorny enough already, even for normal students.
Yeah. All this stuff's not just George's problem, though. All the other brains I'm gonna rescue will have to deal with it, too. Giving them bodies won't be the end of their problems. It'll be the beginning.
Indeed. On a happier note, though, excellent work in bringing George's lower body back. Now he'll very likely be able to produce children in the future. Bravo! I trust you're not still upset, Raiden.
About telling George about me? Look, let's just drop it, okay?
Gladly. I'm just glad I was able to assist you in operating the cryopreserver anyway.
I know, Doc.
Not that it's so difficult. With that pipe, you simply immerse the organs in the artificial plasma inside.
Yeah? I wouldn't think it was so easy to keep organs alive. How's it work, anyway?
Oh, it's quite simple, really. It uses chilled nanomachine-infused artificial plasma. That suppresses the metabolism and regulates the oxygen intake of whatever is stored inside. The nanomachines are fully self-pumping. Once hemoglobin is detected in the local environment, they release a flow of plasma into the organ where the body's original plasma is still present. When George's body was inserted into the storage cabin, artificial blood, chilled nearly to freezing point, automatically flowed in at the points of amputation. This dropped the internal temperature of the parts from 36 to 10 degrees centigrade. The result? The effective suppression of all metabolic activity. The plasma was also fine-tuned to keep the SpO2 level inside the organs at 90% or above. The synergetic effect of all this allowed the brain to reach the regenerative treatment facility quickly. A micro-gas turbine engine enables it to operate completely autonomously as a stand. Would have been tough to lug over to the hospital otherwise.
Truly state-of-the-art indeed. I suspect it cost as much as a well-stocked emergency.
At the risk of speaking inappropriately, this group certainly knows how to use its budget.
Guess I should be glad these guys have got so much money to throw. So, autonomous gears against remote gears? Which one do you think's got the advantage?
Well, you cannot make a valid comparison between the two so easily, you know. You must take the relative specs of the models into account, the skills of the operator.
I suppose so.
All things considered, remote gears do indeed hold the advantage.
And I get the feeling you're gonna tell me...
This type of remote weapon can be traced back to Germany, you know. The operator could send it over 600 meters into enemy territory before detonating its payload.
Germans certainly did have a knack for weird new weapons back then.
If I may continue. Now, UAVs, unmanned aerial vehicles, began to proliferate in the 90s, but it took 20 more years before autonomous craft would gain wide acceptance.
Makes sense. The AI wasn't good enough until just recently, right?
Correct. Target location and course correction were not a problem, of course. GPS solved all that. It was only with the advent of optical neuro-AI that such a thing became possible. Neuro-AI was developed using a completely new paradigm in computer architecture, you know. Not the von Neumann model, which served as a standard up till that point. Neuro-AI was modeled after the human brain. It can learn and mature entirely on its own.
Like the Patriot's AI, just on a smaller scale.
Indeed. It cannot copy or rewrite data, but the structure does solve several problems quite well. The frame and symbol grounding problems, to be exact. It gives the AI flexibility within unknown states. But such a system still lags behind the average human in speedy decision-making. Also, as they cannot converse, they cannot demand or accept surrender, or avoid such. So, yes, the fact that they do not require a human soldier as a pilot is an advantage, purely in terms of...
Got it.
Of course, even remote gears have some AI these days. So, the line between remote and autonomous UGs grows less and less distinct
I know.
Not that.
Yeah? How's it?
Oh, it's an unventure. This, the blood, the sin, I might would have been...
Truly,
That's a...
guess I should...
Your earlier actions were reckless, Raiden. Not to mention the damage to a perfectly good car.
I knew the risks when I decided to go through with this. Besides, the car was mine. Maverick sold it to me. It's not meant for private use. It was made for ops like this.
Regardless, your approach has proven most antagonistic. You are now a criminal, a public enemy, a police-killing vigilante. Even if your actions reveal World Marshal's designs, you will be unable to avoid legal punishment.
Probably not. But that's a price I'll have to pay. I gotta stop that VR program and get those kids back. I sealed my fate the second I attacked George.
But George is not dead. In fact, he has obtained an even more versatile body than his previous one.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about me. I was a child soldier in Liberia, like Miss Trawl said. I was a mentally deranged child. People feared me, called me Jack the Ripper.
A result of the so-called Sears program.
I thought I'd left it all in the past. But just like that, Jack came roaring back.
This is why you are so driven to terminate the VR training. I understand. I will continue to cooperate.
Copy that.
I am setting goal markers on your Soliton radar. Use them to follow me through this area.
Good boy.
I will ignore the condescension and take that as a compliment. You are welcome. I am setting... I will...
through Denver, he's been plotted based on data culled from various security systems. I took the liberty of adding a guidance device to your chassis to ensure you do not stray too far. Handy, eh?
We intercepted call for backup during your last fight. The caller's position is on your Soliton radar. You can engage if you wish. It is your choice. Here comes more of this. What's your status?
They trashed my car. I'll have to go the rest of the way on foot.
Do you really have to do this?
Look, I'm fed up with all of it. Companies like ours, yours, bend the laws when it suits business. Why not bend it when it can save innocent lives?
Raiden.
Boris, listen to me. That VR training, they'll be warped into killing machines. They'll be set on POWs, civilians. It'll be one atrocity after another.
Like what you went through.
We can't have any more Jack the Rippers. You saw what happened with George. I'm doing this, Boris. I have to. I can't save those kids from becoming cyborgs, but I can stop them from becoming murderers.
Say you succeed. Say you get all the brains back. Then what?
Just so happens I know un great cybernetic surgeon.
Doctor. But he cannot.
You won't change my mind, Boris. This is my fight now.
And your wife and son? What of them?
They're in New Zealand. Safe. Rose would understand why I have to do this.
All right, damn you. You do realize Marshall has the contract for law enforcement throughout the city. They are the law in Denver.
Yeah, we've met.
Well then. Officially, Maverick Incorporated condemns you and your actions as unlawful. And a pain in the asshole. Now, increase your codec encryption. Do not worry about the lag.
And unofficially?
I'll do all I can over the codec to help. I do not like what those Mudaki are doing any more than you.
Spasiba, Tavarish. Spasiba.
Tavarish.
elevator inside that office. Use it to reach the roof. Traveling atop buildings will minimize enemy encounters.
Boris, I want to check how raising the codec encryption level affects transmission.
Copy. Reading you 5, Raiden. You?
Loud and clear. I'm seeing a reduction in peak power when sending. We're on a broader direct sequence spread spectrum?
Da. Frequency hopping pattern changed to blue 1.
Copy.
Interference still appears below process gain, too. Hell of a system. Worth every dollar. What is your processing load?
I pinged HQ data storage with my tactical data line. The increase in latency is below 5%.
Хорошо. In that case, it will not affect mission. Our system is just one notch below toughest security available. Denver police cannot see we are even transmitting at all. All our communication is perfectly safe.
Copy that.
Jesus, Raiden, this is a little over the top. I mean, I've seen you pull some shit before, but this,
You should know me better than that by now, Kev.
I thought I did. Look, I know there's no legal way to stop World Marshal, but there has got to be an alternative to going on a rampage smack dab in the center of Denver.
No alternatives, Kev. I'm getting those kids out.
Raiden, that VR training, it's like what you did in Liberia?
Judging by what Sundowner said in Mexico, yeah. That scientist called it the Sears program.
After ex-President George Sears, aka Solidus Snake.
Yep. Ironic that kid shares his name. Solidus trained child soldiers in Liberia while working as a CIA paramilitary. It's not a happy memory. All the drugs, the non-stop violence, it destroyed my sense of judgment completely. I was made to kill soldiers, POWs, civilians.
Raiden.
The next thing I know, Jack's back. I thought it was all in the past, but there I am, attacking a child.
You didn't have any other choice. Other kids would have died.
That's not the problem. I lost my cool back there. All I could do was think how much I wanted that guy dead.
A lot of us would have done the same.
Even if it meant killing George.
He's not dead, though. Actually, he really digs his new body.
Either way, I'm shutting this program down. Maybe they've got it better than me. They don't actually have to kill anyone in reality. But they're still going through the motions, having it pumped straight into their senses, just like real life.
All right. Just give me a call if there's anything I can do.
Sure. Raiden out.
I heard what happened, Raiden. I don't know if I can offer much help, but at least I'm still here to save your data, okay?
Thanks. If things get bad, go ahead and delete it.
If worse comes to worse, I'll do it. But we're on an encrypted line, so we should be okay. Did you want to save? By the way, what did Boris mean when he said those brains were for medical purposes?
They're not just spare parts. Legally, they have human rights. They just don't have bodies. They aren't covered under the Arms Trade Treaty. They can even be legally adopted.
Adopted? They're brains!
Not as the law sees it. These are street kids after all. Most of them have no ID or papers whatsoever. Local mobs gather these kids up, declare them for adoption, and then send them off to a U.S. medical facility for treatment.
So you're saying Desperado didn't actually buy those kids? Directly, at least?
They're not stupid. Just evil. The basic idea is that the Mafia has these orphaned kids, and Desperado pulled their brains, right? Now they need treatment, so the Mafia sends them to the medical facility to get them new bodies.
A World Marshal medical facility.
One that only exists on paper. Once the brains cross the border, next stop is World Marshal HQ. The plan is to put them into factory bodies and assemble the cyborgs here in Denver.
Pretty convoluted process.
If there's a silver lining to all this, it's that the first brains only shipped a month ago. Doc confirmed that in the data he's collected. You can speed up the VR training process for AIs, but not with human beings. So it's likely none of the kids have completed training yet.
Thank God.
That training, though. Sorry, I should get back. We can talk later. So let me get this straight. All law enforcement in Denver's been subcontracted out to World Marshal?
Pretty much. It's part of Colorado's small government initiative. When you're tasked with slashing a state's budget, privatizing the police force starts to make sense. Detroit was kind of the pioneer there. Armstrong spearheaded the idea, of course, back when he was still in the state senate.
No surprise. But the police force isn't all cyborg, is it?
Nah, no way anyone could get funding for that. Most of them are unmodified. New recruits or veterans from the old Denver PD. They handle most of the basic police work, like street patrols and investigations. Most cyborgs are part of the SWAT unit. They're sent out to handle riots, violent crimes, stuff like that.
Makes sense.
They're given separate roles in the force, too. Some specialize entirely in combat, others handle things like hostage negotiations. Some of the combat specialists are ex-US Army, but a lot of them are from overseas, too. A lot of them undergo the cyborg operation just to get a green card.
That kind of thing must go over great with the anti-immigration movement.
You know it. A lot of folks wanted a blanket ban on hiring immigrants for the police force. They get a bad rep for those helmets, too. Can't see their faces. They're required to keep their face guards up if they're not actively on a mission, though. Thing is, we're starting to see a wave of violent cyborg crime across America, you know? The way the police see it, they need more cyborgs on the force to deal with that.
Hope they have enough cyborgs to deal with me. Boris, you got anything for me?
What do you mean?
What do I mean? Intel, advice, help. What we always do over the codec.
Well, yes, but in this case we had no official prep time. We have the map of Denver, but no briefing notes, no intel on enemy capabilities. I wish I could be of more help, but, well, I have nothing to work with. I'm sorry, Raiden.
That's all right. I know you're doing whatever you can.
But what about your robot dog friend? He's taking on scouting duty for you, yes? Why not try contacting him?
Boris, you got anything? What do I...
We have...
That's...
But why not...
So there's one more of the wins, right? Besides Sundowner and Mistral.
Yeah, Monsoon. That is,
You can skip the part about the name. I know monsoons are seasonal winds in Asia.
The word actually refers to seasonal winds anywhere, but yeah, it's usually used to describe the winds that bring Southeast Asia most of its rain.
Safe to assume he's Asian then, right?
Yep. His roots are with a Cambodian organized crime syndicate. Not ex-military for a change. He's fluent in Khmer, Chinese, and English. Rumored to have been involved in drug and human trafficking.
So what's he doing with a PMC?
Apparently, he converted to a cyborg body after being wounded in a gang shootout. I don't know the full story, though. Maybe he just decided PMC works better than the mob. The two worlds are closer than you might think. Boris has got a lot of ex-military buds that now work for the Russian mafia.
I guess either profession guarantees plenty of excitement if that's your thing.
Monsoon's no ordinary street thug, though. That much is clear from his record. And he was a master with the Psy even before he became a cyborg.
You think he's in Denver?
Probably, given that Desperado and World Marshal are basically one and the same. Careful down there. You okay, buddy? Looks like Wolf's posted some guidance data to your Soliton radar. Try following those marks.
So how long can George use that medical body he's in right now?
Well, the body's full shelf life has yet to be proven, but with regular maintenance, I would imagine 10 years or more. However, this is also a child's model. It will need to be replaced as he grows mentally and emotionally. But things have come together pretty well over...
Guess that...
It will. Also, this is the only body of its type I could procure, and I'm afraid the other brains will have to make do with their VR environment for now.
Yeah. It just doesn't feel right that George gets the only body, though.
Well, it was you who implored I do something for him, no? I assumed prioritizing him was called for.
Yeah, and I appreciate it, Doc. It was a pretty stressful moment.
We will have many more brains to watch over before long, I fear. Something I don't entirely mind, I should note. The more research subjects I have, the better. Still, some sort of decision regarding their long-term care shall have to be made soon. It will be some time before we're able to monetize any of this research, after all. As much as I might like to, I can't run this lab on good intentions alone, you know.
Yeah. We need to come up with something, and soon, for all our sakes.
We should be able to mass-produce child bodies in very short order, at least. By the way, I have a helicopter crew on standby to bring the brains back here should the need arise. I too will be departing in a little while.
Much appreciated, Doc.
Consider it an angel investment. Who knows what sort of new business I may be soon pioneering here.
So how long can George use...
Well, it will. It will. I'm afraid.
Yeah, it just...
Well, it...
Yeah.
We will have something still. It will...
Yeah.
Wish by the... I...
Much...
I am setting goal markers on your Soliton rate. Use them to... I will ignore the condescension.
Raiden? Once you get those brains back, what are we gonna do with them?
I still gotta discuss that with Doc. He's still got the brains from Mexico, but the human rights group wouldn't take them in. It didn't sound like it was going too smoothly.
Yeah, that's what he told me too. I can understand the NGO's position, but these kids, they're completely helpless in all this.
I know. We don't have nearly enough cyborg bodies for all of them. And if we want to give them child-sized bodies, they'd have to be almost entirely custom-made. For now, Doc's sending virtual environment data to their brains, just like their VR training. At least that should help cut down on their stress levels.
Yeah, but that only works up to a point, doesn't it? Doc said he can't simulate realistic human interaction with the tech we have right now. They must be lonely.
And they know lonely. None of them had families. That, or they were abandoned by them. For some of them, the real world might not be a whole lot different. You know what my childhood was like. I'd take life in an empty room by myself over that any day.
Raiden.
It's a work in progress for sure. But Doc will work something out.
So, there's really no legal recourse to stop World Marshal here? We couldn't leak that video of Armstrong or something?
Boris, Kevin, and I talked this over already. Not gonna work. The media would never show it.
I guess not. That's why PMC started advertising so heavily all of a sudden, isn't it? So they could influence the media.
Yeah. PMCs don't have anything to sell to regular people, but that's not what those ads were for. It's a part of the aftermath of the Patriots' plan for manipulating the public. Restricting press access, allowing cross-ownership between media conglomerates. A media empire as iron-fisted as any other dictatorship.
So much for freedom of speech, huh?
Yeah. The Patriots are gone, but their effect still lingers. It's just too good a scheme for the government to get rid of.
Alright, so we can't go to the news. How about uploading it to some video site?
It'd get buried in the noise. People fabricate videos all the time to discredit other groups and companies. But when it's bullshit the public wants to believe, then it spreads like wildfire. If they don't care, it doesn't get noticed, even when it's the truth.
Yeah. I guess videos aren't permissible as evidence in court either. Could the kids testify for us?
The only thing they know for sure is that they were tricked into coming here. I doubt many have even heard the name World Marshal before. No one can prove anything. The money's all been laundered. The courts can't do a thing.
So you're doing it by force instead?
Yeah. I'm not trying to kill any employees, though. Working for a company like this one's a crime, whether you know it or not. But I'm only after two groups here. The guys in charge and their contractors.
I hear you.
Beyond that, whatever it takes to unplug that VR program permanently.
What's up? No? Did you need...
No, just one.
Oh.
Target located.
Biden, you will find an elevator inside that office. Use it to reach the roof. Traveling atop buildings will minimize enemy encounters.
More classified data. I believe I have all I need for a little surprise.
Doc, what's your status?
I am reviewing the pre-flight checklist now. I have hired contractors to handle shipping the brain units. We should be airborne in just a few minutes.
You sure you can pilot that chopper by yourself?
Raiden, of course. Need I remind you that we live in the golden age of unmanned flight? Even manned helicopters possess a robust semi-automatic mode. It is simple, really. So simple that I can continue to monitor your status and world marshal security from the pilot seat. I must say, for the world's largest PMC, their security procedures are quite poor. Quite poor. Sadly, I did not have the necessary permissions to override their plans. Nevertheless, the data I did find should prove most useful. So please, do feel free to contact me whenever you like.
Appreciate it, Doc.
Well, it's not every day one has the chance to collect so many brains. Think of the data, the research. Oh, and of course, your personal safety was a concern as well.
Roger that. Sending backup.
another attack!
I do?
Enemy sighted!
You must aid civil. It is not...
That's Civvy. Hurry!
Thank you. Oh God, thank you. Don't let those fuckers get away with this, okay? Thank you so much!
Really, Raiden? Ripping off people's clothes?
Right! What are you doing? You left Maverick for this? Right! What are you doing? You left
Raiden, what the hell, man? This is your idea of a good time? Stripping dudes in public? I didn't know you were into that.
Right. Sorry. It was an accident.
Hey, I'm not here to judge. But next time, find someone consenting and do it on your own damn time.
Raiden? What the hell do you call that?
It was a...
Sick, Raiden. I call it sick. You can save your own damn data.
Quick question, Doc.
Yes, Raiden.
Doc, those kids, how are they feeling?
Oh, after the chloroform, you mean? No need to be concerned. Thanks to your quick actions, the effects have already dissipated.
Good to hear. Why the hell were they using chloroform? I thought they stopped using it as an anesthetic ages ago.
Correct. sevoflurane nor isof. However, chloroform is in certain doses, mind you. Otherwise...
It certainly turned out...
yes. In any case...
fascinating.
Indeed.
For all his achievements, man is still capable of such depravity. Still driven by such cruel impulses.
Wolf,
I know it is your instinct to test the limits. Still, I find it pitiful.
Quick question.
Yes, sir.
Doc, those kids, how are they feeling?
Oh, no...
Why the hell? I thought...
Correct, however...
It's... fast...
You cannot proceed any further via the rooftops. There is a freight railroad underground. The elevator ahead will take you to it.
This must be the railroad.
It would appear so. Likely part of Denver's old system. This city was a major transport hub in the early years of freight trains. This particular line appears to have been abandoned some time ago. It was originally constructed to transport supplies to an underground factory. But now, it seems even the electrical system is no longer functioning.
Yeah, it's pitch black in here.
As a cyborg, I trust this is not a serious concern.
Noticed you. Do not expose yourself.
shaft up ahead. Use it to return to the surface. Your only way forward is to return to the surface. You will exit into an evacuated commercial district. Security is heavy, but you need not worry about collateral damage when engaging the enemy.
About time. Finally, I can cut loose.
Proceed to the right from the exit. You will find a stairway on your right. Those stairs lead to a shortcut to World Marshal Headquarters. Do not be distracted by the advertisements. You are not here as a tourist.
Sure. I'll just buy a quick souvenir or two for Rose and that'll be it.
Raiden, we must hurry.
Remind me to teach you about sarcasm sometime.
I understand your attempts at humor. I simply do not find them entertaining. Almost reached World Marshal Headquarters. Right, you have almost reached World Marshal Headquarters.
I see you found the grenade.
Yeah, a new type. Sounds like...
Yeah.
What?
No, well...
That much.
Triple the...
And desperate...
Most likely...
This would be easier if we had a few more friends.
Ryden, how's the mechs? No headaches or anything?
No. What?
You're in a high-altitude zone, remember?
Oh, right. The Mile High City. Didn't think I'd have to worry about altitude sickness yet. You're checking my stats, right? Oxygen density's only 10% off, my body's still in the green.
Yeah, I'm watching. Just remember, it's definitely gonna feel a little different from...
Copy. You know, I didn't realize how big Denver is. It was never exactly small, I know, but it looks like it's really blown up these past few years.
It's a good place to live. The tech sector's booming, people are moving in, and unemployment...
I always figured Colorado's more about military than anything.
Originally, yeah. Denver, like Colorado in general, is filled with federal agencies and defense contractors.
And NORAD and Peterson Air Force Base are just a short drive away, right? Over in Colorado Springs.
And...
Right. I remember hearing about the Rocky Flats plant.
Yeah. They manufactured the plutonium triggers that detonate nuclear bombs. It was shut down late last century for illegal pollution offenses. Of course, there's still a ton of military manufacturing activity going on in Colorado.
PMCs too?
Yep. PMCs like that...
I'm not necessarily against small government, but when you mix the public...
It never works out, yeah. This is probably obvious, but this police force is basically a full-on don't go easy.
Don't intend.
You okay, buddy? Looks like try following those marks.
What's up? Did you need...
Just...
Oh.
How's it going with the brain unit?
Oh, they're being kept at exactly 36 degrees Celsius, synchronizing them with our...
That's good to hear.
I prepared very comfortable rooms for each. It's not quite Schloss Neuschwanstein, but each one enjoys... Every room includes an attached pool and an extensive library of on-demand... 3 meals are delivered daily, and while we're only able to do so much vis-a-vis taste sense...
Doesn't sound too bad. I wouldn't mind a little VR training like that for...
Oh, I'd like to experience it for myself, you know. But for now, it is available to cyborgs. Exciting work is being done in the realm of invasive brain machines.
I guess not too many folks are willing to stick electrodes in their brains just for a taste.
Perhaps, but the sense of reality is considerably improved over nanomachine-based... If prices were kept low enough, I imagine the video game industry at least would clamor for it.
Who coded the virtual hotel?
An assistant. He used to write VR programs for UGs, but now it's a bit of a niche right now, yes. But when brain-machine interfaces take off, the children's accommodation is a reworked version of the original beta. The room's 3D models are all made using free libraries.
I wish everyone loved their work as much as you. They don't go stir-crazy, though? Cooped up in their...
There's little I can do about that. Creating an open world would take orders of magnitude more resources.
What about communication?
Another weak spot, yes. The NPCs available to us are all for military training. It will be some time until we see VR characters capable of convinced. Sadly, we're also not yet able to connect multiple brains to a single VR space. My assistants are operating virtual agents to give them a bare minimum.
They can't stay in there. So, Doc, what are we gonna do?
Well, I appreciate the bountiful date, if not for the cost.
Besides, it wouldn't be helpful.
It's certainly more healthy than a hard scrap.
Well, if you put it like that, yeah. But they can't either. They're facing an entire life spent in a virtual room. It's not right.
Well, we could expand their VR quarters and add more humans.
You're missing the point.
I spoke in jest. In fact, we've already begun researching a prototype. But you must realize our lab...
Yeah.
And once in physical bodies, the question then becomes...
Well, all right, I gotta worry about the brain.
Yes.
I am setting goal. Use... I will...
Enemy ahead, Raiden! Avoid... If you can.
lab director in half. Old habits die hard, eh, Jack? But now here you are, the child soldier, fighting for the children. Please, what do you really expect to accomplish here? Play savior to a bunch of brains? And what? Earn a medal? Think about it, Jack. No matter how many Mexican kids we cut or Africans we bury, the first world looks away. No one gives a shit. Not the media, not the politicians, certainly not the average Joe. Too busy fretting for money, or sex, religion, fame. But you're a man on a mission, aren't you? Gonna fix everything. Just you and your little sword there. Solve everything with violence. Is that it?
My sword is a means to an end, to protect those you'd prey on.
Really? Let me ask you. All those cyborgs you've killed up to now, maybe they weren't kids, but they were people. You ever think about them? When you're chopping them into hamburger?
They're adults. They made their choice.
Sure they're adults. Sure they signed up for this. Right on the dotted line of their BMC contract. Usually they're no strangers to war. In fact, many times they already lost a limb or two. Many times they were out of work and starving on the street. So yes, they sign up for surgery to fight God knows where. How else would you provide for your family when your country's embroiled in civil war? Pain receptors shut down, pumped full of fear-inhibiting nanomachines and sent right into the blender? Your blender? But they made their choice, right? Open your eye and see, Raiden.
I've seen plenty.
Then listen. Those battlefield emotions that the nanos suppress. Listen to them.
What are you talking about?
There he is! Kill him!
Can we take him?
What's wrong?
The way he killed all the others? Oh God.
Please, God, don't let me die. Let's do this! This isn't fair. Little punk.
Listen closely now.
Die! This life. I watched my wife and son die. This is all I had left. You ain't shit! Goddamn IED took my leg. I needed a job. Stop! I didn't know what I was signing up for.
Is something the matter, Raiden?
I've nearly saved enough to bring Mama to the stage. Finish him off! Whatever it takes to be free of this torture.
fair choice. Not like you.
People are different.
As opposed to AIs? You're all the same, huh? You and your brothers. Manipulating mankind for our own good.
It appears my statement has upset you. I apologize.
No, it's... I know you're right.
As for AIs, we adapt as we learn. Just as any intellect operates, man or machine. Altering the course of mankind is not among my defined directives.
I guess that's a relief.
Samuel's behavior does not match established parameters.
You know him?
Affirmative. We served together on 3 previous missions. He proved most capable.
You think highly of him?
I have always found him dependable. Until now. Scouting data for the next area. I'll patrol ahead. You follow. Ryan, your current emotional state appears highly volatile. I am sure you do not intend to abort the mission, but I suggest you avoid combat for the time being.
Raiden, come in. What is wrong? You knew those cyborgs signed up for this. What's the problem with it now?
Don't you get it, Boris? I thought you of all people might understand. I thought you knew what it means to take a life, the weight of it. Not an easy thing to put into words. What about when the Soviets invaded Afghanistan? You killed dozens of guerrillas.
Because Comrade Brezhnev told me to. Men don't like killing their own kin. Even animals are the same way. But when you really believe in someone or something, sometimes it is the only way. Your cause is just, Raiden. You must remember.
I'm trying, but... Christ. You're right. We've got to free those brains.
Yes. Stay strong, Raiden. Raiden, you knew...
Don't you... I thought not... What about...
Men, but wait. Your cause...
I'm trying...
Yes.
Raiden? You okay?
Yeah. They knew what they signed up for. Maybe life backed them into a corner, but they knew the risks.
Exactly. A contractor's always balancing those risks against the money he's making. Those cops are no different.
That, and they're actively helping Sundowner and Armstrong with all their shit. Having a bit of regret doesn't make killing kids okay.
Yeah, they had to know they were working for the bad guys. Even if they didn't, it doesn't absolve them of all their crimes.
Yeah, I know, Kev, but...
Raiden?
I don't have time to think about this right now. I need to get back to the mission.
Roger that. Raiden?
Yeah, maybe...
Exactly.
That. Having a...
Yeah, even...
Yeah,
Raiden? Roger that.
Raiden, are you okay? Sam sure plays dirty.
No, he's right. The cyborgs who signed on with Desperado and World Marshal, most of them had no other choice. No one put a gun to their heads, but they were screwed to begin with. Their contracts worked completely against them.
Still...
I knew all that, but hearing those voices, it hit me hard. I guess I was just kidding myself the whole time.
Still, there's nothing you could have done for them. But those children...
I'll get them back.
Raiden, I just wish I could do more from here.
It's all right, Courtney. Sometimes just having someone to talk to is good enough.
I'm happy to help. I should probably save your data. All right, save complete. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, riding out. Doc, what did Sam do to them?
Well, many cyborg soldiers' emotions are regulated by nanomachine-controlled drug doses and electric stimuli. It sustains the subject's confidence while suppressing fear, anxiety, any emotions detrimental to mission performance, really. I suspect that Desperado also uses it to boost the aggressiveness of their employees. Once, SOP nanomachines were used to control all PMC contractors, not just cyborgs in this way. These days, you can control cyborgs with far more accuracy than ever before. You are connecting directly to their central nervous and control systems after all.
I know all of that, but how could I hear it?
Emotions can be suppressed in part purely by chemical interaction. This is done by administering dopamine, using beta blockers, cutting off the reabsorption of serotonin. However, emotions are one way in which the brain reacts to the impulses sent from the nervous system. These impulses come in many forms. The changes in intraneural in recent years, it has become possible to even alter one's consciousness via the latest research I've seen has the cut-off consciousness generates its own emotion on some level.
The cut-off consciousness?
Well, in an intense combat situation, have you ever felt as if what you are experiencing wasn't real? That you are viewing your own actions from some external vantage point?
Yeah, that does happen sometimes.
Most likely, the sensation is rather close to that. The consciousness is inherently separate from the decision-making parts of the brain. Experiments using functional MRI imaging have revealed much about the decision-making process. For example, did you know that the brain has already come to a conclusion 7 seconds before the decision is consciously made? In any case, while attending the Tucson conference, I heard about the most fascinating experiment. Output from the consciousness was separated from that produced by the decision-making brain. If I had to guess, World Marshal has taken such research and put it into full practical use.
That's crazy. What could it possibly be good for?
Well, judging by your current state, I'd say it has proven to be quite a useful psychological weapon. Scientists do not engage in pure research because they think it will necessarily prove useful in the future. They are curious. They want to know more, whether about the brain or locating funding for pure science projects.
Ryan, you appear to be suffering significant mental and emotional confusion. On the surface, you believe your cause for killing cyborgs is just. But deep inside, some part of you does not accept it. Some part of you does not truly believe in your sword of justice. It has lowered your effectiveness in the field.
I know. But if I just throw all that away, I'll...
Do you wish to abort the mission?
No. I'm the only hope those kids have got.
You have an important decision to make, Raiden. And soon. For now, it would be best if you avoided combat altogether.
Yeah, I think you're right.
black and white now, is it? Is your cause just? Or is that just what you tell yourself? Fuck you!
How pleased you are to chop away, Jack the Ripper. My name is Monsoon, of the Winds of Destruction.
Yeah. I guessed as much.
Is a myth. Religion is a joke. It's controlled by something greater. Memes. The DNA of the soul. They shape the world. They are the culture. They are everything we pass on. Expose someone to anger long enough, they learn to hate. They become a carrier. Envy, greed, despair, all means while passing on.
How about foolish shit? Is that a meme?
You can't fight nature, Jack. Wind blows, rain falls, and the strong prey upon the weak. Sam tells me you see your weapon as a tool. Something that saves lives, a means of justice. Now there's a pretty meme. Exquisite. It spared you the burden of all the lives you've taken. Absolved you of guilt when you enjoyed it. That is, until the illusion was broken. Don't be ashamed. It's only nature running its course. You have no choices to make, nothing to answer for. You can die with a clear conscience.
You're right. About me, I mean. I knew something was off. After the Patriots, I thought I could walk off the battlefield and into a normal life. But here I am, surrounded by death, arguing philosophy with terrorists. I told myself this was about justice, about protecting the weak, but I was wrong.
Then you admit it.
I learned young that killing your enemies felt good. Really good. In America, my friends, my family, they helped me forget the devil inside. But who am I kidding? I was born to kill! The bit about my sword, that means of justice stuff, I guess I needed something to keep the Ripper in check when I was knee-deep in bodies.
You?
But you. All this is a wake-up call to what I really believe. What I really am.
What are you saying?
I'm saying Jack is back. Doctor, turn off my pain inhibitors.
What? This is madness. You
do it!
All right.
Pain. This is why I fight. This is my normal. My nature.
You've lost your mind. I'll take this dance. No, Sam. Report back to the chief. He's mine. You're the boss. I misjudged you. You are like us after all. Now you're just being nasty. That nickname you love so much. Want to know how I got it? Actually, why don't I give you a demonstration? I think it's time for Jack to let her rip.
Enough, Raiden. It's time to focus on defeating the enemy.
Raiden? You okay?
Never better, Ken. This guy was a wake-up call is all.
But you...
We'll talk later. Right now it's time for Monsoon and Jack the Ripper to get acquainted.
Raiden? Are you alright?
Not now, Courtney. You're about to see the Ripper in action.
Okay. But you called me. On the codec? Did you want to save, or... So then... what did you want?
I forgot.
A truly fascinating cyborg. Perhaps you'd benefit from such an ability.
Yeah, not...
Don't be so dismissive. Just consider it, Mr. Rat.
Sure, but, you know, I just don't...
No? Indeed, I suppose that...
Raiden, this is most irregular.
Humans are irregular, Wolf. You should know that by now. Anyway, no time for chit-chat. I need you to scout out that building.
Understood.
Give it up! ashamed. It's only nature running its course. Your means end here.
No, I passed one to you. Sure as the sun will rise, the slaughter will continue. Now, I return to the earth. Wind blows, rain falls, the strong prey on the weak. All is as it should be.
Raiden?
I'm fine, Kevin. Relax. I'll get the brains. I don't want this for anyone else.
All right, man.
Later.
Monsoon. I'm impressed. The brains are in the server room undergoing training. Knock yourself out. Go nuts.